Hey, Daryl here. This is my daily devotional. Most of my adult life, I have earned an income from church work. Most of my paychecks at the top left-hand corner has the name of a church that I am serving. And I'm not wealthy by any stretch of the imagination, but I probably carry a few pounds more than I need to, which says I've been blessed. I've been blessed beyond measure. I love speaking about a pastor receiving pay for his work because it's biblical. And I love speaking on any subject that is biblical. Now, I want to begin by taking you to the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5, where it says in verse 17, "The elders who direct the affairs of the church well are worthy of double honor, especially those whose work is preaching and teaching." And that's pretty much my main responsibilities as a pastor. My spiritual gift is teaching. And then I love to study the Word and proclaim it as the Lord has illumined my mind, that I proclaim it in a way that people can understand. But there's a phrase here I want you to note. It says, they're worthy of double honor. I want you to know that does not mean double respect. The word honor in the original language meant pay for a service. In fact, it is the same word that we see the root word for honorarium, which means to pay for a service. So, and I say this with a grin on my face, if you take this verse literally, it says, the one who directs the affairs of the church well are worthy of a double paycheck. Yeah, you heard me right. A double paycheck, especially those whose work is preaching and teaching. It goes on and says in verse 18, "For the scripture says, do not muzzle the ox while it is treading out the grain, or the worker deserves his wages." So as that ox was allowed to eat as he was treading the grain, the pastor is allowed his salary as he is doing the work of the church. And it needs to be generous. That's what it says. Well, the idea of paying those who work in the church goes clear back to the Old Testament. Fact is, as we're studying now through the book of Leviticus, we have just seen God instruct Moses on how that tabernacle, the traveling tent of meeting, was to be ornamented so lavishly. We saw the ordination of Aaron and his sons as priests who would be working and doing the ministry in that place of worship. We saw the Spirit of God come and the fire came out and consumed the sacrifice. And then it says to us in Leviticus chapter 10 at verse 12, Moses said to Aaron and his remaining sons, Eleazar and Ithamar, here we go, "Take the grain offering left over from the offerings made to the Lord by fire and eat it, prepared without yeast beside the altar, for it is most holy. Eat it in a holy place, because it is your share and your son's share of the offerings made to the Lord by fire, for so I have commanded. But you and your sons and your daughters may eat the breast that was waved and the thigh that was presented. Eat them in a ceremonial clean place. They have been given to you and your children as your share of the Israelites' fellowship offerings. The thigh that was presented and the breast that was waved must be brought with the fat portions of the offering made by fire to be waved before the Lord as a wave offering. This will be the regular share for you and your children as the Lord has commanded." Even that which was brought to be a sacrifice, that meat, that grain that remained, was going to be the sustenance for Aaron and his sons and their daughters. You see, God has always made a provision to take good care of those he calls to ministry. Don't forget that. The next time you look at a church budget, look at that line item for the pastor's salary and think to yourself, could I live on that? God bless you. Good day.